You heard me say this in my previous video about, the Clippers and what they need to try to accomplish this season. And to me, a secret goal that they have internally that not a lot of people are talking about or speak on is that the Clippers are trying to get that number one seed, because they may have mentioned it and things like that in the past and stuff like that. But this year they're really on a mission, I believe, to try to actually go after it and secure it, because they saw what happened previous years where they try to just coast and then go into the playoffs. And just because they got so much talent, they thought they could flip a switch. And a lot of times it doesn't work like that. Or if it does work out that way, you're making it so much harder on yourself than what you have to in regards to just going into the playoffs and trying to be a team you need to be. So in order to make life a lot easier for yourself, you really need to actually try to win all the games you can and be the best team you could be during the season and build that chemistry. So when come playoff time, you're not only ready for whatever comes at you, you're actually playing at your highest level. And if you got home court advantage throughout the playoffs, I mean, everybody having to come through LA would make it a whole lot tougher on them in regards to what they have to face in regards to, Kawhi, PG, the home crowd, and the rest of the crew on the Clippers. So, I mean, it's like it would be a tough outing, for any team, or a tough situation for any team to go into LA and beat them if they had to play them in a 7-game series and the Clippers got the home court advantage. I mean, it really would be, especially if everybody on the Clippers is healthy. I just don't know how many teams, or if any team in the West would be able to do it. Now, of course, you can make a case for the Suns and, the Nuggets and, a couple of teams. And maybe, some people might even think the Lakers can do it. But I mean, at the same time, I don't really see it. I just think that that should be an ultimate goal for them. I know Ty Lue has mentioned something like this, being the best seed they can be and go at it the best way they can. But I think secretly their goal is to get that number one seed, and not just to play through the regular season and build the chemistry. Building the chemistry is great, but getting that number one seed is very, very vital for them, because I think it'll benefit the Clippers even more than it would other teams, because the Clippers specifically, the home crowd being a number one seed is not something they're even used to. So, I mean, if I were them, I'll go all in, go for it, go after it, because that's the best way to really, attack the situation, because you don't want the Nuggets to have the number one seed again, because going through Denver is going to be tough. Nobody wants to go to a high altitude like that, playing, in, the months of, May and all that type of stuff, because you definitely don't want to do that. You definitely want to, secure a home court spot if you can, because playing against a team like Denver who just won a championship, if you have to go to that high altitude and, some players, might not play well in the high altitude and things like that, it's just a disadvantage for a lot of players and a lot of teams that go up there. So you don't want to have to go there. You don't want to have to, possibly face Phoenix, hypothetically, if they got the number one seed. Even though if the Clippers did have to face them, I do think the Clippers can edge them. But I mean, with Bradley Beal there, them having an extra added piece like that with the home crowd, Devin Booker is getting better, and KD is going to be KD. That would be very tough if you have to go there in a 7-game series and they got the home court advantage. Even though when we look at last year in the playoffs, I still think the Clippers possibly could have won that series if Kawhi himself stayed healthy. But regardless of that, he didn't, and PG wasn't healthy either. So, I mean, it just didn't work out in that favor. But either way, I still think the Clippers are good enough to go on the road and beat teams. But I just think, you want to make it as easy as possible on yourself. And if you got home court advantage, that can give you the extra boost and extra juice that you need to go out there and put teams away and dominate in series and play at a high level that we know the Clippers can, but also give them the advantage on the other hand. And then, of course, on top of that, I mean, I would love to go to, a game and be in the atmosphere of, the playoffs, but at the same time, knowing that the number one seed is right here and everybody has to come through here, LA, before they actually go to the championship. That's just a good feeling to me personally. So, I mean, that would be a great feeling, I would say, since it hasn't happened. But I mean, hopefully it will. And hopefully that's the mindset of the Clippers. Go after that number one seed. Don't let your foot off the gas, because Ty Lue, these last couple years, he's been known to kind of like, put his foot on the gas some, take his foot off. Oh, we'll just, fall to the 4th or 5th seed and face Dallas. And Dallas almost knocked them out like a couple years ago. And like I said, it could be, ego or something like that. I'm not really sure like what it is or what it was. But I mean, that type of mentality can get you beat. So as my point is, don't take your foot off the the gas, keep going, win as many as you can. And as I said earlier, you got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. You have to go into games and realize we're the better team. We got more talent. We got the better players. We got PG, one of the top 10 players in the league. We got Kawhi, top 3 player in the league. To me, the best player in the league when healthy. And, we got a very good head coach in Ty Lue where we can make good adjustments. And we got a very deep team, a deep bench, and a lot of versatile player wings who can come at you in different ways that you might not even be able to see coming. So if that's the mindset the Clippers need to have going forward throughout this season. And like I said, it'd be in the Clippers' best interest to try to go after that number 1 seed. If I were them, it really would be. So if that's the goal, go after it. Don't slip up. Make it happen. And if it does happen, like I said, there's no guarantee they'll win a championship, but it makes life a little bit easier going into the playoffs, knowing that you got your home crowd with you, behind you, and that energy, that extra boost can just take you to another level sometime. And I think that's exactly what happened to the Denver Nuggets. That throughout home court advantage really gave them that mental boost and edge about them, and they just took it the distance. And I think the Clippers can do the same thing. So with that being said, just go do it. But it's my take on everything. Leave any comments, and we'll talk about it.